Hello lovers of literature. So we are again back with another poem which seems to be quite for music. Excuse me, I'm laughing too much. So it seems to be quite easy, quite happy, and of course it talks about celebration of humanity. The poem is written by Eleanor David Roth, who is a prominent singer and a songwriter of the American New Folk genre. His poetic lyrics, anecdotal narratives, keen observation and celebration of life come along with the melody of the chords, and he conjures on his guitar, often resulting in the creation of something beautiful. In his own words, let us quote him. One of the reasons why I write songs and play music is to try to bring more beauty into a world that needs more beauty. So this poem is of course a celebration of humanity. Some of his important songs include the poem that we are going to deal today, that's 9 Gold Medals. May the light of love, be kind to yourself, and dragon to butterfly, among others. One must be aware of the false information of David Roth in his relation to the song 9 Gold Medals. Before we proceed any further, we must state that unlike popular belief, 9 Gold Medals is not composed by the vocalist of the band Van Halen. It's printed in some books. The vocalist of Van Halen is David Lee Roth, an altogether different singer. 9 Gold Medals is written by David Roth. The singer, songwriter is mentioned by me right away. While we enjoy this gem of a song which deals with compassion, equality, empathy, it becomes our responsibility to stop this gross misattribution of the piece to some other artist, which is against the sincerity towards an artist. So after that, having said that, let us delve into the poem. About the poem, a little background. The poem is written, as I already told you, as a celebration of human feelings, right? So it provides an account of how various athletes had come from many countries to take part in a special Olympic Games. The grand day approaches when the athletes must prove their mettle and show that the world they have not toiled in vain. The 9 athletes position themselves, alternately waiting for the sound of the gun. The signal is given, the gun explodes, and all of them dash forward to make a run for their lives. However, the youngest among them gives out a sharp cry. He has fallen on the ground with all his efforts and years of training gone to waste. What follows next is both unforeseen, it's unique, it's unprecedented. The 8 other athletes stop at the tracks, turn around, and proceed to help him. They choose to help their fellow competitor despite the fact they've invested great time, energy, and effort for this race. The 9 athletes join hands and carry on. The 100 meters a race that is reduced to a walk. Here comes the irony. And the race is completed in a grand gesture of everyone holding each other's hands, which perfectly complements the banner of Special Olympics. In appreciation of their compassion and empathy, all the time players are awarded a gold medal each. The poem ends on a note of optimism, saying that the words can't express the beauty of the gesture and the happiness an athlete at having realized something greater than themselves. This is what the entire summary that I shared with you. Now let us get into the analysis. The athletes had come from so many countries to run for the gold, for the silver and bronze, so there are 3 medals. Many weeks and months in training, all building up to the games. All round the field, spectators were gathered, cheering on all the young women and men. Then the final event of the day was approaching. The last race was about to begin. The loudspeakers called out the names of the runners. This is the climax, mind you. The 100 meters, the race to be run. And 9 young athletes stood there determined and poised for the sound of the gun. So the first and the second stanzas of the poem capture the grand scale of the event, as well as the effort that has been put in by the athletes. Because they are vouching for the 3 medals: gold, silver, bronze. The athletes trained for weeks and months in order to realize their dreams. The first 2 stanzas effectively capture the dreams and aspirations of the competing athletes and describes the effort they had put in the form of months of training before the game. The second and third stanzas capture the great gusto and the fanfare of the event, with the spectators gathered around the field cheering for their favorite athletes. The loudspeakers blare out, calling the names of the players, all of whom enter the field determined to win the race. They take their positions alert, focused, eagerly waiting for the sound of the gun. Now comes the 4th and the 5th stanza. The signal was given, the pistol exploded, and so did the runners on hearing the sound. But the youngest among them stumbled and staggered and fell on his knees to the ground. He gave out a cry of frustration and anguish. His dreams and his efforts dashed in dirt. But as sure as I'm standing here telling the story, as there comes the climax of the narrative and the quick pace in the rhythm. Now it's a strange one, but here's what occurs. Now this rhythm that happens mimics the climax. The signal was given, the pistol exploded, and so did the players on hearing the sound. Climax. Also note the rhythm of the lines, which creates the momentum for the race to begin. And it also takes us to the oral imagery, the explosion of the gun. However, the youngest among the players staggers and falls on the ground, giving out a sharp cry. All his and dreams have been shattered, his efforts wasted. So there comes a complete peak and then falls. The 8 other athletes stopped in their tracks. The ones who had trained for so long to compete. One by one they turned around and came back to help him and lifted the lad to his feet. Then all 9 runners joined hands. Very, very important line. And continued the 100 meters reduced to a walk. And the banner above that said Special Olympics could not have been nearer the mark. The 6th and the 7th stanzas describe how the competitors made the compassionate gesture of standing by the young athletes. Instead of focusing on winning the gold medal, Roth emphasizes that the athletes were the same ones who had trained for so long to compete. This collective gesture of empathy and goodwill leads to a fellowship, due to which the 100-meter race is just reduced to a walk. It is here and not any time earlier, where Roth slips into the fact that the incident had taken place in Special Olympics game, and furthermore, does so by making the point an incidental one, by placing this fact right at the end and not the beginning. So beginning, he did not tell it to us that it was a Special Olympics. Roth very skillfully shifts the focus from the condition of the athlete and places it on the magnanimity of their gesture. In appreciation of compassion and empathy, all the athletes are awarded the gold medals, and the event ends with not 1 but 9 gold medals. So here comes the appropriateness to the title of the poem, The 9 Gold Medals, which startles us at first. How can there be 9 gold medals? But once we understand, we come to know that how one athlete stood by the other, and there was a complete celebration of the sportsmanship. Roth ends the poem by conceding the words, that can't express the generosity of the gesture of the athletes who made it possible to convert an individual's tragedy into collective happiness. We live in a world, now let us ponder on the fact, we live in a world where everything is like a race, right? We all are competing against each other. Life is a race. Everyone teaches us with that idea. Even when we are kids, we are asked to compete with our fellow classmates, with everyone. In fact, when we grow, we start competing by ourselves. But 9 gold medal, the poem transcends such verbal garbage masquerading as sound advice to show that life is much more than just a race. That with cooperation and fellow feeling, we can create something more beautiful and greater than our immediate individual selves. This is what the poem teaches us, not in a form of a preaching, but rather in a form of a narrative. The poem is so simple and yet so evocative, which speaks about the greatness of the poet. That how great the poet is in conjuring the images so spontaneously with a climax, with oral imagery, and then how the anticlimax comes, and then how the celebration of humanity is at last what the poem vouches for. So after we have read the poem quite elaborately, I think we have completed almost everything about the poem quite well. Yet, if you want to know something more about the poem, or if you have your own interpretation to the simple poem that seems to be so simple with such a beautiful image and such a beautiful message, then please leave in your comments in the comment sections, as I always say. And we are going to deal with some other poem, and maybe with some drama that is going to come in quite recently to the further videos. So stay tuned, stay happy, love literature, let's stand for celebration of humanity. Thank you so much.